If you're new to my channel, I like making pick-a-card readings and talking about astrology, numerology, and other spiritual topics. Today, I will be doing the pick-a-card reading a little bit differently. I will be talking about what people admire about you. So I added 2 more decks this time because we have a lot of different personality types and I wanted to reach as many people as I could with this. So with that being said, here are the pile numbers. Pile number 1, pile 2, pile 3, pile 4, pile 5, and pile 6. So again, that is pile number 1, pile 2, pile 3, pile 4, pile 5, and pile 6. So now I will give you 30 seconds to take your 3 deep breaths, close your eyes, and let your intuition guide you to the correct pile for you. So if you chose pile number 1, this reading is for what people admire about you. To save time, I'm going to flip over all of the cards first and then give the reading afterwards. So here are your cards. 7 of Cups, Knight of Cups, 7 of Swords, Nature, Love, Healing. Your spirit animals are the goat and butterfly, Networker, Mentor, and Servant. And the guardian angel that you embody is Lady Portia, Divine Order. So it says, do what you feel is right, an important lesson is unfolding. So what I'm getting here is you have 2 cup cards, and cups usually have to do with emotions. So maybe you are really in touch with your emotions. The Knight of Cups is really about like romance, and maybe you're a romantic. And this 7 of Cups is kind of like making decisions with your emotions, and maybe you're really good at making decisions based on the feelings of things rather than like going with like the concrete things that everyone knows. You kind of see things in a different perspective. I'm kind of getting like an Aquarian vibe here with this card. And then with the 7 of Swords, 7s, if you're a life path number 7, they're all about like being really good at being alone. So maybe you're really like introspective, and I'm seeing this moon here again. You really are able to follow your intuition, and maybe you're really good at knowing someone's true intentions. You can spot kind of deceptive people from a mile away just based on like the feeling that you get from people. And then with these cards here, the love is right above like the romance. So maybe you're really you're really good at showing people that you care about what you love, and you're very like good with words and making sure that the people that you love know that they're loved. You also have a very healing presence about you. So just kind of being in your presence, I'm drawn to this nature as well. It's just like, it's almost like a breath of fresh air, because people get your different perspectives on things, and you allow people to see things kind of like the bird's eye view with these birds here, and like he's kind of looking down on all of these cups. So he's you're the type of person that can see things from kind of the bird's eye view, and you give kind of a fresh perspective on situations that other people may not be able to see. With this goat, it says act from your innate wisdom. So yeah, this kind of ties in with the intuition that I was kind of picking up on here. Just with your overall energies, you're following your intuition. This light is on the third eye, so really maybe your third eye is really open, and people really appreciate the wisdom that you provide, and maybe you don't even know how you're able to get the wisdom that you get. Sometimes it's just like a download, and you just have a knowingness about things. So the butterfly is be ready to transform with wisdom. So yeah, like you are always evolving. That's something that people also admire about you. You're constantly working on yourself, and you take time to reflect on things, reflect on yourself, reflect on how maybe you could have done better in a situation. And you're not just staying in the state of, okay, well, this is who I am and this is who I'm always going to be. No, you're a butterfly that's constantly like growing and evolving, and maybe you're really good, like you're a social butterfly as well, and you're able to connect with a lot of different people. I'm seeing that with the networker. It says enhance unity through the sharing of information. So yeah, again, with giving people a different perspective, you're sharing your wisdom, and you're able to connect with a lot of different people because you are so likable. Like right off the hop, people like see this like difference in you, and they and you're mentoring people with the wisdom that you have, and you don't see it as like you have all this wisdom and you're above people. You really do love offering your advice to people, and you're really good at advice. So people often come to you for advice about different situations because you're able to see the bigger picture. You can speak with love, and people are really healed by your words, rather than feeling judged by you. Like no one really feels judged by you. They just really feel like you have their best interest at heart, and they really feel a sense of like security and like safety with you, that like you're not doing this for ulterior motives. It's just really coming from the goodness of your heart, and just that wanting to be a servant for others and a help to others, and maybe like just a safe place for others to come to, and kind of tell things to you that they wouldn't often tell people that are maybe closer with them. So the last card, the spirit that you embody, or the guardian angel says, do what you feel is right. An important lesson is unfolding. So divine order, Lady Portia. So yeah, I think that's just this saying, you do what you feel is right, not kind of, you're not swayed on what other people are doing or what other people are saying is, oh well, this is what I believe in my religion, or this is what it says here to do. And like, you don't really, you're kind of I'm just feeling a lot of like Aquarius vibes here, because Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, and that's the planet of kind of rebellion, and not rebellion in a bad way, but like a non-conformity about you. So you're not conforming to social standards. You're not conforming to maybe what everyone else is doing. You kind of make your own route, and you do what you feel is right, even though people maybe are doing something else. So that is all that I'm getting from pile 1. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below if this resonated with you, and share it to people that maybe might be like-minded. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching. So if you chose pile number 2, this reading is for you. And for time's sake, because we have 6 files, I will just be putting all the cards out there and then reading them afterwards. Okay, so we have 4 of Wands, the King of Wands, and Strength. Personal growth, relationship change, leadership, Bee, and Panda, Lover, Liberator, and your guardian angel is Saint Germain. Okay, so what I'm getting from this pile is 4 of Wands is usually about like celebration and kind of bringing together of people. Knight of Wands is like having charisma, enthusiasm, and then strength here. So what I'm getting from this is I think you're a really good time. Like, people like having you around because you just have like this very exuberant personality. Maybe you're a fire sign here, because I'm getting a lot of like the Wands energy, and then the strength here is represents Leo, actually. So maybe you're a fire sign, which is Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius. So what I'm getting from this is, yeah, people like having you around because you have so much enthusiasm. You really go after what you want. You have a lot of courage and strength, and maybe you influence others to also like embody their own personal power. You really push people towards like their own personal growth, and maybe if people are in kind of toxic relationships, you're able to tell them like you're better than this, and you're able to really speak empowerment into people. And so people really go to you for your leadership. That's coming in pretty strong here with the fire energy and the strength and leadership right above each other. So yeah, and here you have Liberator, freeing yourself and others from freeing yourself and others from outmoded beliefs, releasing negative thoughts and patterns. So yeah, that's kind of what I was saying with the relationship change here. I believe that you're able to empower people because they see so much strength in you, so they kind of want to be like you, because they just like love this fire that you have for life. Like you always seem to like see the best in things, and you always have such a very happy outlook on life. And yeah, you really inspire people to be better, to be more outgoing, to put themselves out there, to have courage, and go after their dreams. Um, so yeah, I'm seeing like a lot of celebration. So again, being a very like happy person that people love to invite to parties, to they love to introduce you to their other friends as well, because you're just like such a firecracker. You just, you know, you you're very bold, and yeah, people just get this sense of like how big of a heart that you really have. And here you have the Lover card, which says great passion and devotion. Um, so yeah, I feel like you're very open when it comes to love. You love to love. You love people. Um, you love celebrating with people and empowering people. And here you have the B, which it says spread heart healing with joy. So exactly, this kind of all ties in here. Just with your ability to spread the joy and love and heal people with the joy that you have. Um, you also have the Panda, stay balanced in your essence. So maybe you have a really good balance between your divine feminine and divine masculine, because a lot of people, some weighs out the other, but yours is very balanced. So people, whether it's you're a woman and you get along really well with other women, but also men. You kind of are able to connect with anyone, and everyone kind of sees that balance. Yeah, you have a lot of like I want to say calmness about you as well. Like you are like quite you love to be this really like um, this kind of like partier or whatever, but you also are able to be a real calming presence to people as well. So with as much joy that you have, you're very solid in who you are. You just have a very like you might also be an earth sign, just like I'm getting that with like just the balance and like being grounded, and the yeah, kind of the earthy grounding essence about you that really help people to kind of maybe not take life too seriously and not sweat the small stuff. You're kind of a reminder for people to kind of get out of their own heads and just take life day by day and take life for the good that it has to offer. And then you have the Guardian Angel card is Saint Germain. Karma releasing. Move above drama. Create your own path. Make room for good energy. So yeah, again, with just your good energy, and I feel like you're able to release people of like maybe karmic cycles. So with just the fact that you are able to empower people to move on from kind of toxic cycles that they get themselves in, whether it's like maybe a self-deprecating cycle, or like not picking the right people to be in their life. Yeah, just sometimes people just like attract toxic people if they're constantly like they feel like they like need to heal people. You're that person that you're just able to like kind of put your foot down, and like you say it out of love because you care, and you don't want them to get taken advantage of. Like, you're really for like the little people. That's what I'm seeing here, kind of with this little lamb. Like, she's protecting this little lamb, and maybe you're very protective over the people that are in your life. Like, you kind of take it upon yourself sometimes to kind of be like people's like big brother or big sister, and you really want to like protect the people that you root for the underdog, and people see that and are very attracted by like this big brightness that you have, that like you're gonna be protecting, you're going to kind of bring some healing for them. So that is all I'm getting for you, pile number 2. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time I make new videos. If you chose pile number 3, this pile is for you. And to save some time today, I'm just going to flip over all the cards and I'll give the message afterwards. So you have Death, you have the Ten of Wands, you have the Eight of Swords, Spiritual Partnership, Surrender, Music, Snake, Swan, Alchemist, Avenger, Trickster, and Lord Shiva. Okay, so pile number 3, this is what I'm getting for you. So first of all, with the Death card, I feel like you're in a constant state of like reevaluating and kind of transforming your life for the better. So people really admire the fact that you have a really strong connection with your spirituality, with this spiritual partnership here, and you're really able to kind of surrender to like the will of like the divine, is what I'm kind of seeing here. So with the Ten of Wands, I'm kind of feeling like you're really good at walking away from things that don't serve you anymore, and I'm getting the vibe that you're really like not like cutthroat, but like you're just like, you know when to say when, and like you're not afraid to just like ghost when something isn't feeling right, or you're just like not feeling the situation. So yeah, I feel like you really have a way of just like knowing what's not good for you, and just like letting it go. So what I'm seeing with this Music card here too, I'm kind of feeling like you have maybe a really different style of music that you like. Maybe you're really able to find really cool new artists, and you're very like musical. I feel like you're maybe more of an introvert on most cases, and you really enjoy like more of the like artistic side of life, and you're really but I feel like when you do get to know people, you are kind of like a trickster. Like, you like to play jokes, you like to play around, but you only do that with like the people that you know that you can really trust. a smaller circle, because you like to protect yourself from kind of like bad energies. You might also be like you're a musician yourself, like maybe you have a really good voice, or you're really good at playing an instrument and people really appreciate that about you. You're also very determined, and you don't let a lot of things stop you. That's kind of what I'm getting from this. Like you're very much an individual, and people admire that from you as well. And with this one, it says demonstrate grace and majesty, and that kind of like, for me, it just seems like people are very intrigued by you, because maybe you're not one to just like go and talk to everyone. You have like this mysteriousness about you, and it kind of like draws people in and like makes people want to get to know you, because you are kind of more secretive. I'm kind of feeling like you might be, maybe like I'm kind of getting like Virgo, or maybe a Scorpio, just with like the mysteriousness about you. And the swords typically are all about knowledge, so maybe you're a very intelligent person as well, and people are very they admire um, they admire how intelligent you are. Like you don't open up to a lot of people, but when people like really get to know you, they find out like how intelligent you are, and like they're really drawn to that. And maybe people see you for like having a lot of opportunities, and maybe you don't see that in yourself all the time, because like you are pretty conservative, and you maybe a lot of the times you kind of overlook all the opportunities that are being placed in front of you, or maybe you're just not interested in them. But I think people like almost like envy the opportunities that you get. Like, of course they admire it, but like they kind of wish that they had that, and they had like the intelligence, and they just see you for having like so much potential to do like basically whatever you want to do. And people just think, maybe they think that you're just like kind of like you have all your shit together, you know, and you just seem like yeah, like you know what you want, and you're yeah, like you just, whether or not that's the case or not, that's the kind of image that you project to people, that you do have so much knowledge in so many areas, and you really like whatever you end up getting into, it seems like you pick it up really easily, and people are really attracted to the fact that like you can wear many hats, and you are so good at many different things. But I feel like you're not I feel like with this card, maybe you think that like everyone is just like good at things, and like they just need to try harder, but like that's not the case. Like, you're the type of person who could just like pick something up and just be good at it right away, without even really having to give too much effort into it. That's what I'm kind of feeling. Because you got this alchemist card, and it almost seems like you're able to maybe manifest things in your life that you want, and maybe a lot of people like you think that a lot of people are like that, but it doesn't come as easily. They don't have the like spiritual relationship like you do, and maybe you're, because you are able to kind of manifest things, but also surrender to the outcome of like how you're gonna get where you want to be. You just kind of like go about your life, and then things just fall in your lap. And yeah, so that's kind of what I'm getting here. I don't know if did I talk about Avengers yet? Desire to be balanced in scales of justice, righteousness on behalf of society or oneself. So yeah, I feel like you're very you're very black and white. There's no gray area for you. That's why you kind of maybe have a tendency to like cut people out of your life really quickly, because you don't see the gray in areas. You just see like black is black and white is white, and like there's no in between for you. So either like someone's like a really loyal friend, or they're just not in your circle anymore. Like you don't like to have fair weather friends. You like to have like the solid, close people that like the people that like really really know you, and that you let know you. And that's when you're actually able to have more of a playful side with them as well. So lastly, you have Lord Shiva, which is your guardian angel. Rise up, honor your inner voice. Steps are being given. Dance with the universe. So yeah, I feel like that kind of goes back to the alchemy and being able to surrender, and it's just kind of validation that like your like the inner force that you have, like that spiritual connection that you have is very strong, and you're able to dance with the universe and like dance. Like I feel like you have a lot of joy, and you don't show that to a lot of people. Like you're very reserved in your emotions, but when you're like behind closed doors, like around the people that really know you and love you, and the people that you love, you are able to be like this jovial person, and you are able to kind of like break out of your shell and be this like playful, easygoing person, like that not everyone else gets to see. You kind of only show that to the people that are close to you. That's why what I'm kind of getting with this snake here, it's like they like here's so much light in the center here, and this like snake is kind of coiled up, and it's only letting like the few people like really see like how beautiful they are on the inside. Like maybe you can come off to people as kind of cold, but really you're like such a warm, like loving person. But people have to like really get to know you and have to take the time to get to know you, because like you're not really one for small talk. You're not like one to want to be like the center of attention or anything. You just like to have your few friends, and that's it. And people really admire like your loyalty as well. You're a very loyal person, and you expect loyalty in others as well. So yeah, that's kind of all that I'm getting from this pile number 3. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time I make new videos. Okay, so if you chose pile number 4, this reading is for you on what people admire about you. So for time's sake, I'm just going to flip over all the cards and then go through the reading afterwards. First you have the 8 of Wands, Page of Swords, Page of Wands, parenting, pride, synchronicity, badger, elephant, father, priest, martyr, lastly, Kuthumi. I'm probably saying that wrong. So, okay, so what I'm getting from your pile here with the Eight of Wands, maybe you have a lot of like really good ideas, like you're really creative. And the Page of Swords, I feel like you're really passionate about like getting knowledge and learning more. And with the Page of Wands, like you have a lot of enthusiasm too. So people really enjoy like your enthusiasm and like your gusto for life and creativity, and you have a lot to offer when it comes to like creative advice. And maybe you're an artistic person, or you like to be creative in other aspects. But I'm getting that you are quite a smart person as well. And you're really into like the ethereal kind of aspects. So like with these light bulbs, I just feel like you are balanced, but you also like to dream, and you like to really like dream big, and you have a lot of like aspirations, and you have a lot of enthusiasm, and maybe people are really drawn to your enthusiasm and like your creativity. And with parenting, and you also have the father archetype. So the father, it says, talent for creating and supporting life, positive guiding light within a tribal unit. So yeah, maybe you're really good at supporting people creatively, and maybe you just have like this really like, maybe you're really good with kids, and you just have like this youthfulness about you. I'm feeling that with like the Page of Swords. Pages are, they have a really young energy about them. So maybe you're really good at being really playful, and kind of like being able to think like a kid almost sometimes, and like, and that's such an amazing thing, because you can really see the good in everything, and like the brighter side, and you're able to just like break things down so simply, and maybe you're really good at like explaining things more simply to people. And with the you have the badger, bring your life into balance. So I feel like you are pretty balanced. Like you might be really like youthful and playful, but you know also when to be like serious and like have serious conversations. So people really enjoy like that, the both sides of you. You also have the elephant. Open yourself to true abundance. So maybe you're always seeing like the lighter side of things, and you're able to show people like the abundance of life, and like what they have to look forward to. And you're a very optimistic person, and I feel like maybe you're able to just remind people to be more joyful, and to take life for the good and not focus on the bad. I feel like you're able to you're balance that youthfulness, but also like the stability of just like knowing things are going to happen. So maybe people think of you as kind of a dreamer sometimes, but little do they know that you're actually like doing the work behind the scenes. Maybe they don't see you as like being such a serious, like committed person, but like little do they know, um, you're actually like you're doing the work behind the scenes. And like, yeah, you might come off as like this really like youthful young energy, but you really have your wits about you. And I think when people get to know you, they're like really surprised and like pleasantly surprised of um, like how much you do actually know and how committed you really are. And like they don't know this because you're not prideful about it. You're able to like be very like you kind of let things roll off your back. Like you don't even care if people like think of you as being like simple, because you know that you're not, and you don't have to prove to anyone. You just kind of let people think what they want about you. And like you're really able to just let things slide off your back, because you're really balanced and you're really grounded in yourself. Like you might be an earth sign. That's kind of what I'm getting. um, um, just being balanced, or maybe an air sign as well. um, um, or maybe you have like air in your chart somewhere. And then you have a martyr, learning to transcend nature of service to oneself or a cause. Um, so yeah, I feel like you're able to be a martyr in a lot of different situations. Um, like if people are like kind of like hating on you, you just like you don't get combative. You're just like, okay, like I'm just gonna take it and like move on. um, and you don't let things like bother you too much. Maybe because you see, you're able to see like maybe if people like you're able to understand people really easily. um, and you're able to have compassion for people, because like they really don't know you, and they don't know what you're capable of. So it's easy for you to just like let it slide. So you have the priest card here. Facilitates spiritual commitments, serves as a channel of spiritual energy. So maybe you are really you do have a lot of faith, and people admire that. You're one of those people that like really look after signs, and like maybe you point signs out to other people, and you're just like, look, it's 11:11, or it's 1:11, or 4:4. You really like to find the synchronicities and signs and things, and it in turn, like you bring this like youthful, like joyous, you're not so serious when you talk about it, so you are able to kind of like connect with people that way without you coming off as like too like preachy, if that's a word. So people like your creative ideas, and you don't kind of force your opinions on people. You just kind of like you kind of express your ideas in a really light way, but if people don't want to listen to them, like you're fine with it. Like you're not going to take it to heart. And And then lastly, you have the Cloak of Wisdom. So you already know the answer you seek. Trust what you know. So I think that's just going again with like um, having the knowingness, and like you're like you don't have the pride. You just kind of let people think about what they want about you, and um, you because you do have a lot of like wisdom, um, and you balance that with like your playful like youthful side. You're actually like a really grounded person that does have like a lot of wisdom to back up your like creative pursuits. So that's what I'm getting from this pile. If you like this reading, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time I make new videos. Okay, so if you picked pile number 5, this reading is for you, of what people admire about you. Because we have 6 piles, I'm going to flip them all over at once, and then I will tell you the reading afterwards. So first you have the 3 of Cups. Next you have the Devil and the 3 of Wands. New beginnings, financial discipline, love partnership, the Wolf, the Parrot, the Mystic, the Scribe, Mother Mary. Okay, so what I'm getting from this pile, here you have 2 3s, and usually what 3s are in numerology, they speak about being a good communicator. So maybe you're really good at like expressing yourself, maybe through like words or the way you speak, or maybe you're more artistic and you have like you write like poetry, you write music, or you're just really good at like articulating your point of view. Also, what I'm seeing with this 3 of Cups, you're really good at like bringing people together, and you like to make sure no one feels like left out, and you're almost like maybe you're one of those people that likes to meet new people, but also likes to introduce people as well. So you're really good at like communicating. You're good with words. You're really good at bringing people together. And what I'm saying with this Devil card here, for me, I feel like, and it's right below financial discipline. And one of the vices a lot of people have is like maybe like a shopping addiction, or like just like you're really good at not having really any like downfalls almost. Like you really have like you're very responsible, and people really appreciate that about you. So like you could be really good with money, and you're able to kind of like maybe live a really abundant life, because you are such a good saver, and you do know how to spend your money wisely. And maybe you're really smart at like maybe you're really smart in business as well, and you're just maybe you handle the money in your relationship if you're in a relationship, or I'm just getting the sense that you do have also a really good relationship with yourself. I feel like this love partnership is it has to do with like knowing your worth, and I feel like that's like you have a really good relationship with yourself, and people see that in you, and um, it's not like you come off as like being really full of yourself. You're just like very grounded in who you are, and yeah, with this wealth, be independent but work together. And I feel like because you do have a really good relationship with yourself, you're able to kind of be alone but also like bring people together. Like ultimately you do like bringing people together, but maybe initially starting things by yourself. And then this parrot, listen intently to understand. So not only are you really good with words, you're really good at listening too, and kind of like being that active listener that people need. And people really feel heard with you, and understood. And then you have the scribe, um, preserving knowledge and information. So yeah, I feel like because you have like your head on your shoulders, you do um, you are really good at giving people advice when it comes to like what they should do in like business. I'm feeling like you might be like really good at business and like starting new adventures, and like you're not fearful to start something new. Like you kind of like help people to move past the barriers and kind of step into the unknown. And you're able to do that because you you hold you hold knowledge really in like a real high regard. So you're always trying to learn. You're always trying to grow, and you're when you're interested in something, you kind of like dive into it. That's kind of what I'm getting with the scribe. Um, like you're really good at being. You have a lot of determination, it seems. And with the mystic here, revels in intimate unions with the divine. So maybe you are like I said, you're really grounded, and the reason why you are so grounded is because you really have like a good connection with um, your intuition, and you're able to get answers really easily. Is kind of what I'm seeing. And with the Mother Mary, let go of the need to be right, choose peace. Mother, I feel like you try and keep the peace with other people too. A lot of the times, like maybe you're like the mediator in your friendship group, and you're able to see the bigger picture in a lot of circumstances, and you're able to play almost like the devil's advocate, and kind of not ruling out anything. I feel like you're a very thorough person, and that's like kind of what I'm getting from the scribe. Like you're like almost like by the book. You like to have a plan. You like to kind of like follow like one step at a time, and you're very like solid in that, and you're able to know like, okay, what's the next step, and like you're able to kind of follow accordingly, and you keep other people on track as well. Maybe you're able to kind of like reel people in and see like, okay, this is what we need to do. This is our goal. This is like, um, I'm getting the sense that you might be very organized too. Um, that you're. It's not like you need to be right. You just want to get things done, and a lot of the time, like you do know what's best for other people, and you can see the bigger picture, and you don't get overwhelmed very easily. Like you're able to kind of stand your ground, know what you need to do, and not be overwhelmed by like all the little details. Um, you're able just to be very secure in what your plan is, and um, you when you make a decision on things, you don't really waver a lot. You're able to be like very decisive, and people really appreciate that about you. So that is what I'm getting for you, pile number 5. If you enjoyed this reading, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time I make new videos. Last but certainly not least, if you chose pile number 6, this reading is for you, of what people admire most about you. So I'm just going to flip all of the cards over first to save time, and we will talk about what everything means afterwards. So first you have 6 of Swords, you have the Empress, 4 of Swords, Moderation, Happy Ending, Environment, and the Cat, and the Dog, Gossip, Bully. I swear these are things people admire. Okay, and Gaia. Okay, so what I'm getting from this pile here, the Empress is really sticking out to me, and I'm feeling like you have a very like mothering type of vibe about you. Like you really know with this 4 of Swords, you know when to like rest. You know when you because when like a mother is kind of pregnant and like kind of growing a baby, she like accepts when she needs to take a nap. Like she doesn't fight it. She just like knows what she needs, and she's able to like listen to her body, and kind of like have some moderation when it comes to like being social, and then knowing when you need to retreat as well, and just like take time for yourself. And maybe that's what people admire about you is your self like preservation. Maybe you take really good care of yourself, and maybe you're into like a lot of like healthy eating, and what I'm getting here, you kind of see like the world almost. This almost looks like the world, and maybe you do care deeply for others, and you maybe you have a lot of like care for the environment, and you are just like a really like peaceful person. It seems like um, you're really able to um, bring people peace, and people like being around you because you do have such like a calming energy. um, and with the happy endings, I feel like that's kind of like almost like the mom like picking up her kid after they've like fallen down, and you're able to like say like it's okay to fall down, like you just need to get back up, and you're able to like kind of like pick people up, and kind of like with that nurturing vibe about you, and you're able to like say like, hey, like this isn't over, like there's like this like this scratch on your knee, it's gonna heal, like don't dwell on the bad, because um maybe they were learning to ride a bike or something. I'm just kind of giving an example, and they fell down, um, but the mother is saying like it's okay, you try again, and you're a really encouraging person, I feel, and you encourage others to see like the light at the end of the tunnel, like, and to kind of get out of what they're going through emotionally at the moment, and you're able to like help them see that light, and um, yeah, I'm just seeing you have a lot of like green here, and that kind of represents like the heart chakra. So maybe you people feel really loved around you, and this gossip card, when I first flipped it over, I'm like, okay, yikes, but this was kind of making sense now that I'm like reading these all together. um, The light attribute, it says, awakens consideration for the feelings of others, honoring trust. Um, so I feel like you're not one to really indulge in gossip, and you're one of those people that kind of like just likes to shut it down. It's like, okay, like give these people the benefit of the doubt. Like um, don't just jump to conclusions. You're also excuse me, um, you also like feel for others. You have maybe you're like an empathic person, and you can feel the emotions of others, and so maybe like I feel like this is you actually, and you get pretty like mama bear when it comes to people that have like come to you and say like this person is like being mean to me, and like you really just like don't put up with like gossip and like people being bullied. um, you have like a really like motherly energy about you, and you're able to kind of like make people feel better about situations, and like maybe help them see like the lighter side of things. The light attribute of the bully, it says, highlights your tendency to intimidate others, helps you confront the inner fears and that bully you. So maybe maybe you're one of those people like the Empress is all about like the divine feminine, and maybe um, you're really good at like not letting your fears hold you back to kind of birthing new ideas. um, people come to you and they see like you're really not fearful, and you've really like faced things kind of head on, but with like a very calm attitude about it. Um, and with the dog here, it says be disciplined in your home and community life. So yeah, you do have like this mothering side of you, and that also means like you don't take any shit. Like if people are messing around, you kind of like are very quick to be like, okay, that's enough. Like cut it out. You're able to be like kind of strict in that and not really put up with any nonsense. And then you have the cat, be relaxed and independent. So relaxed again, like calming energy. You're able to bring peace to a lot of people just like by being around them, because you do have such a calming presence. And here, Gaia, Earth connection, be mindful of the planet, come back to Earth, stay grounded. So I feel like that's kind of tying in with like the environment here. You really do care for the environment, and maybe you do like charity work, or you're maybe you like to like educate people on being like having like a plant-based diet, or you're just really like good about your health, and people really admire that about you. And you have a lot of compassion for your environment and like the world, and you have a lot of compassion for other people. And you are a very like grounding energy. Um, and with this Six of Swords, you're able to kind of like navigate your way through drama, and you kind of like tend to um, like remove yourself from any kind of drama, and people really admire that about you too. You have a lot of integrity because you really back up what you say by your actions. So you're not one of those people that like say, oh, I don't like drama, and then like they just tend to like attract a bunch of drama, because like really they do like drama. When you say you don't like something, like you don't like drama, you do everything in your power to keep your life clean of that, and like having a very healthy environment for yourself and the people that you love. So that is all I'm getting for you, pile number 6. If you liked this reading, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel